Bart Herbison with NSAI on the day we filmed this that we have been subpoenaed by Spotify and that an opinion came down from the U.S. Department of Justice to further decimate the American songwriting profession. You may have read about that a few days ago, and it's easy to get mad, it's easy to curse the commerciality of the music industry and hate, and I do, a whole lot of things that have happened in the digital era, until you remember why every songwriter since David wrote Psalms for God created music for us, and why that music's important in our lives. I'm here with my friend Herb Stewart.
Mark.
And I don't think it's coincidental because we've talked about this interview for a year.
Right.
We're going to talk about a song today, and they're going to hear you perform a beautiful a cappella version in a few minutes. It's never been on the radio, probably never going to be on the radio. It's not even written the way for what's really on the radio today. To me, it's a hymn based on the way emotional country music was structured a long time ago, and arguably the most beautiful song I've heard in a long time, and I can certainly tell you I need it. If Spotify wants some of it, DOJ wants some of it, we're going to give it to them, all right?
Okay.
So this is called Loving You, this is a song, and this is Herb's late wife, Tanya. And I'm going to read the first couple paragraphs of the memorial you did for her. This song was written on March 28, 1993 for my wife, Tanya, for our 37th wedding anniversary. Shortly after that, Tanya started having multiple health problems, and in May of 97, her retirement date, she had surgery and removed a mass inside her heart. Over the next 17 plus years, she was hospitalized 20 times, had 10 major surgeries. After each of those medical situations, you took her home, you nursed her back to health, and in August of 2014, at that time, her body just quit working. She contracted hepatitis B through blood transfusions, and she passed away quietly at home on August 31st, 2014. Exactly 3 months past your 58th wedding anniversary, and your family, you, the children and grandchildren, were with her. People write songs for different reasons, Herb. And we always focus in our e-news about sort of the commercial aspect of that. When people come meet with us at NSAI, they want to know how their song gets on the radio. They want to know how you get the publishing deal and record deal. And I just want to finally talk about a song that was written as a tribute to somebody you loved. And that was the only reason you did it. Talk about that, and you basically thought she's gone, and that's what you could give her in her memory, right?
That's true. That's true. Well, it's odd that the last 10 years of her life, she was sick more than she was well. She only outlived her mother 9 months. And people probably won't understand what I'm saying here, but the last 10 years of our life were the best of our marriage, even with all the sickness, and she never complained, not one time. But we had some great times during those years, and I was never more than an arm's length from her for those last few years. I still had to go get groceries or something like that. And it's hard to say that was a great time in our life, but it really was. Have a motorhome, we got to the Smokies and the Ozarks and all over the place when she was feeling up to it. And I appreciate Mark so much by doing this. She was comatose the last 7 days of her life, awake only for about 3 seconds, 3 different times. And when the doctor told me, a matter of hours, maybe days, you can put her in the nursing home across the street or take her home, so we took her home. But the last night in the nursing home, about 3 o'clock in the morning, I crawled up in that hospital bed with her and hugged her close and sang that song into her left ear. Of course, my hope was it would wake her, but it didn't. And we took her home the next morning. She lived 37 and a half hours, but she was surrounded by all of her children, 4, and her grandchildren. So
Well,
That's about all I can say.
that's tough. It's people. Some may ask why are we putting something so uncharacteristic in an e-news that's a tragic detail that's meant for many depressing to hear. And I'm going to tell you why we're doing it. It's because I told you this song moved me several months ago, and I told you that I think it's important for our members to note and realize that not every creation is intended for commercial application. Sometimes it's just supposed to be done to mean something in the most important times in our lives. And in your case, is a tribute to somebody else. And I can tell you this, that song has helped you grieve. And it's helped your family remember her.
Yes.
So the song's called Loving You.
A tribute for Tanya.
A tribute for Tanya. And so take the joy in that, members. Take the joy in your gift of music and hear Herb's rendition.
When the guitars are all silent and the Cumberland runs dry, when the haze leaves the Smokies and bluebirds don't fly, when the dogwoods don't bloom and there falls no dew, then I'll just be getting started loving you. Loving you, loving you, loving you, loving you. Then I'll just be getting started loving you. When the lights of Nashville have been dim for the last time, when the last songwriter has written the last rhyme, when country music is just a memory, then I'll just be getting started loving you, loving you, loving you, loving you, loving you. Then I'll just be getting started loving you. When a cold solar wind howls where the moon used to be, when the sun no longer shines, no fishes, no sea, then I'll ask God to grant our love for eternity. Then I'll just be getting started loving you. Loving you, loving you, loving you, loving you. Then I'll just be getting started loving you.
Tanya. Then I'll just be getting started loving you.